Hello and welcome back to the Google APIs for Rust and YouTube Uploader development stream. It's Byron speaking, and we are back at issue 49, which actually is an issue that is all around the required request value. So what we want to do is make this documentation here dynamic so that we can actually describe the request value that you want to build with all the required invocations of the -r flag, which can be meaning two things. It can be a cursor invocation, so you basically set the cursor at which future writes will happen, or you can actually set a value. There's still a few things wrong here. Well, not directly wrong, but not as intended. First of all, I like to demonstrate basically absolute cursor invocations, which is just like that. I would also like to demonstrate relative cursor invocations. And right now, I only do it in an absolute way. So in the moment you go to snippet localized, for instance, which is this, you see that it's always absolute, even though it could or should as well be relative. And this is what we are going to do in this session. Let's make it relative. So first of all, I think, where is it here? List schema args. The primary invocation is this one here, and if I would put a field separator here, then the default cursor would always be starting with a dot. So that's cool. And now what happens if I say that I want to use relative cursors all the rest of the time, right? So, oh damn it. The problem is also that yeah. I mean, the main difficulty here is to get the logic right. I know what I want, but right now I don't really know how to express myself. So if I start with something that is non-empty, then we will always set the cursor to something which also shouldn't happen unless it's necessary. And. So now we would have to check for this, right? And basically what we could do is, the thing is that, I can't, if I start with the dot, then I can't just ignore this, because sometimes we really want to have a dot here, like here. Where is it? I don't see it anymore. Here. We want to go all the way back up. But this backup case, this backup case is supposed to be a dot, right? Which is not even mentioned in the documentation because I made it up. I think it would be cool to have, just to do that. On the other hand, well, it's for completeness mainly, right? Is it really what we want? Is it really that useful? I think in order to be a complete implementation, you would want to have relative movements up the hierarchy, because relative movements down the hierarchy are already possible. So let's try something like this. So let's start small here. So basically this means that once we went down, then if something comes in the next iteration, like another field, we want to go back up. And this is recursive, so basically we just have to go one step back up, because here we went one step down, which also involves the required or the respective field. So now I will only provide it with a cursor that is relative to its current location, which basically means that from now on, when we dive in, we will have relative invocations, so it's not, where is it? It's not snippet localized anymore, just localized, and should be just like that. This also means that once we are done with that, we actually always want to set the cursor arg to field sep, which is one up. Okay, so now the step up stuff will be correct. And this also means that if we start off, I just want to kind of have the notion of something that starts, like the first like the first invocation, because the top level should just provide an example and say, listen, you can also use like the dot notation. You know, this is optional here. Because it could be a relative notation, it could also be an absolute notation. And kind of the difficulty that I put in here is that I want to show it, even though my system here actually doesn't want to show it, you know? It doesn't need to show it. It would already work perfectly fine without that. Okay, so maybe we want to work perfectly fine without that for now, which means that this dot thingy here is something I don't need, and in theory it should be a valid relative invocation already if I get this right. So that's the 73. Interesting. Okay, I removed the default value here, makes sense. So now it should work again, it should be the right thing, all relative. Here we go. So here we go into content details and set the channels to a string. Then we have playlist, then we go up and set the e tag. Then it's ID, la la la. Then we go down again to, oh wait. We go up. Okay, then we go down, it's a snippet, then we go down again, and then we go up again. And that's really it, and our cursor stays in this area. So that's cool, that's already working. I think I should just save this, even though it's just a minor change. Feed, I don't usually docs, CLI, relative cursor positioning. It would still be nice though to show absolute positioning as well. So how would I do that? So here now comes into play this trailing dot that I had, and I think what I want is if apps cursor is a dot, a single dot, I ignore it. Because only if I dive down from the root level, then I want to use the field separator, which should be that. So let's have a look at this, just to remember. So this should now have a leading dot here. And then we're already kind of done with that, even, if that works. Oh! Nope. Because, why is that not very, oh, well, wait, true, wait, we go in here. Oh, we don't actually, oh wait, maybe this is wrong at this point. Maybe I don't want to encode it in the way the cursor is made. Maybe I just want to have some sort of information about whether I'm top level or not. And I'm top level if my apps cursor is empty. I think that's how I would want to do it. Then this guy doesn't need to know anything. Okay. And we have some area where we can use code. And so basically, if we have an absolute I mean, that's basically where we come in, right? Mango subcommand of n. So here we want to prepend the top level thing, but only if it's empty. I think that's the point. If our apps cursor is empty, we want to prepend the field prefix. So cursor prefix, let's call it cursor prefix. Cursor prefix is empty, but if apps cursor, and this is only the case for the first invocation, if apps cursor is empty, then I would like to have this cursor prefix to be, let's see if that works, to be the field separator. And then I can just put this here and have the cursor prefix be the prefix for the entire thing. So in theory, and only for the first level, we will now see a dot here. There's a dot, that's beautiful. Here we go up again, here we go down again, and then we go down one level to the localized one, which is now relative. Good. So that's actually pretty neat. That's what I wanted. So now we kind of show how we go relative down, show how to go relative up. Let's take something more interesting. Well, it's just bigger, right? Not necessarily more interesting. One down, and that's it. Something we also don't handle yet. Look at that. We have a string array. That's fine. I think I want to make notes about this. So we have string maps, which currently are not visible here, unfortunately. It would look like this. I think we never write one of these yet. That's awesome. But I want to, if there's something special going on, I want to say about it. So that's, I think, the first thing I want. In separate bullet points. So basically, if f.container type is container type array, end of container type, which we handle. It's kind of redundant, this handle, but on the other hand, I like it for some reason. And then we have, of course, the container type that could be C-type map. And in any case, if it's a pod, then it's just a pod. So if it's an array, we say each invocation of this argument appends the given value to the array. I think that's something I want to say. And here we want to say that we want to use the special value form, which is this one, somewhere here, mapping. So that's the one. So that's the name foo bar. How do I say this? I probably wanna have a special, this thing here that is the actual property type right now. I really want to have a function that gives me some sort of type for this. That can be, that can analyze the field a bit that we have. Field to value, def field to value. F. Return a value string suitable for the given field. For now, I don't specify it at all because that can at some point be random values or just show how this should be invoked. Right now, I don't know really. I just want to start with something. So if f container type is container type map. Now first we start off with the value, and right now this value is f dot actual property type, and this value is something we return. And it's the same thing that we do here basically, right? But now, if special case for the map, if we have a mapping, then we want to say that the value will be key plus equals value. So this will be key, okay, so like this, key equals value. That's the one. And now we are a bit more precise. If if it's a array, there's nothing special because these things will be added automatically. It's just special for the hash map type. So field to value we do here, field to value f, like this, which also means that field to value should be that. Okay, so now this should look a bit better, not here, but here. I haven't actually, oh, whoa, what's going on? So here seems to be some Unicode issue. I'm encoding Unicode into UTF-8, which I think is Unicode, but apparently it's not. So ACCOM rating, let's see, it's YouTube 3 and ACCOM rating. So what does it get here? The description, rating for Italy, authority. All right then. So even Sublime Text can't decode that one. What? What's going on? So does it use some weird encoding? Reopen with UTF-8, yeah, sure. If it's not yet UTF-8, okay. Let's try these. Oh, that was wrong. Big endian as wrong. There we go. Okay, so is some encoding, the encoding must be written here somewhere. I think Google got its encoding wrong. Encoding is wrong. Or maybe there's another editor that can do it. I don't know. The only other editor that can call itself like that is TextWrangler. I have no idea. Yeah. See, how do I open a file path? File. Open by name. Ugh, come on. So let's see. ACCOM. Okay, it can't decode it either. So whatever is going on there, it's a problem. But it's not my problem, really. Sure, at the end of the day, I don't have properly, properly encoded, or I don't have nice documentation, but on the other hand, what can I do if I get this? It's interesting that apparently either I am here on the wrong track or Google is. And I would be super happy if it's me. Encoding, okay, it's no official flag that would tell me the encoding. And I could, of course, try other encodings. But what about Western Windows, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's as wrong. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's Italian. Is there some Italian something? Nordic? No. Baltic. So it can't do that. Amazing. Maybe the shell can. Probably not. Nope. It's UTF-8, and UTF-8 doesn't know that. Amazing. It should be just authority. Authority. So that's Italian here, right? And it's encoded in some weird way. Okay, I will just stop looking into this, but it's weird. They probably copy-pasted this or something and messed up the encoding. I guess that's what happened. No, wait. I know the browser is super smart, right? Okay, it also can't do it. Okay, the browser can't do it, I think. We are done with that. Okay, cool. But let's have a look at this anyway. So the ratings. Lots of rating stuff. Just want to have a look at this more complex example. And whether or not, maybe I have to rebuild it, maybe I didn't do it yet, or reload. Because I should have information about this is an array. For instance, in case of rating reasons. Here we go. Okay, no description provided. If container type is array. Okay. What's the container type then? So it doesn't print it here. That's weird. Huh. What's up? I don't get it. Show me. Maybe I'm getting this wrong and it's not container type or something, but it is. And the actual property type is then what's contained within the thing. So maybe I'm setting it wrong. But no, if I would set it wrong, this also would be wrong. I mean, it works here, right? So it should work there. Gee, why is that such a bitch to me right now? That should just work. I mean, so far that was kind of easy, you know, things just worked and no big issues here. So that's the first thing that doesn't work as expected, I'd say. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. No, it's YouTube. Videos insert. Maybe it's, let's have a look at exception. It's also an array. Multiple ones. What's that? Oh, embed HTML. So I have to encode HTML here. Gee, that's dangerous. So it just embeds this here and we have something weird going on. Let's have a look, because I think that is something Mako can do already. Pyenlib Python 2.7 site packages Mako filters. So URL escape. What about, I mean, XML escape would probably do it. Do they have HTML escape as well? Escape. Yeah. Let's try XML escape. Description. So we XML escape it. Then we do that. I'm not sure if this is even there yet. No. From Mako, import XML escape. Let's see if it's there, if it's imported to the top level. Nope. On Mako filters, import that. I hope it's public API. Okay, so in theory that should be going away now. And it kind of does. But it also looks different now. Why is that? Huh. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that's good. I still don't see any HTML or XML here that would have been escaped. Also the question, what it does then. I mean, I think it's something with HTML in the name, embed HTML. Okay, so that's the thing that kind of put an iframe there, and yeah, that was all wrong. But fortunately that works here, that's good. Doesn't know that it's Markdown, or that Markdown kind of handles the escaping that it does, but it does, magically. Awesome, I like that. And yeah, apparently lots of stuff was truncated just because it was terminated after this iframe here that kind of contained the rest of this. Okay, that's good. Also means that whenever I use a description, I need to escape it. XML escape. Okay. Here we also XML escape this. And XML escape this. But that's actually that's okay. I think here we don't do anything anyway. But still, let's be clear about this. Yeah, I could even go crazy and say that I have an entire huge block that will XML escape everything that goes through there, but for now I just do it for the descriptions that I take from the outside world. Basically that could change without me knowing. It's definitely for XML escape. Here we have it, here we have it. Cool, so the question is still, why don't I see that my container type is what it is? It's a schema entry, fine. So it should definitely positively match this one. What the heck? Yeah. This obviously works. Actual property type. I don't get it. Field to value. Yeah, field to value right now does nothing special, but what if it would do something special for C-type array, right? Just to test it. Then V is foo, or let's just say we put it here like that. That makes no sense, and I don't want it to be like that. But I just want to see that this actually does something. So where do we have it? We have it for the reasons, like this. Good. So it does work. It just doesn't. I don't get it. I totally don't get it. Does it put it in there, but it gets ignored or something? Let's assert false here, because we should hit this, but we don't. What the heck is going on? Let's print the container type. Maybe it's something weird. What? Ah, okay, true. We should only print it if we are here. Might as well. Take this out of here and put it here. Pod list. Or something. I'm using this, right? Yes, I'm using it. Schema entry. First one is C-type array. What? What? Do I set it later or something? I set it to something else without knowing? I have no idea. This works for everyone, but for this one, what's wrong? Is it something with... I mean, I don't get that here. I definitely don't get that. So what's the type of these? String and undefined. Ah, damn it! Ah! Stupid me, C-type map. Ah, gee. Man. Sure, usually you realize when you use something that is undefined, but in this case, it was just a comparison. And comparisons to undefined shouldn't actually ever work. That would be awesome, you know? Now I was looking for a bug that was kind of due to the silentness of the comparison here. Yeah, but maybe it isn't its fault. Cool. Okay, good. So that will now actually be printed. Reasons. Here we go. Each invocation of this argument appends the given value to the array. All right, I like that. How much time do we have? Yeah. Actually, I'm good. Even though I will also do this. Yeah, the mapping part is not so important because now the value part says key equals value. Maybe I just say key should be, yeah, well, key will be the value will be associated with the given key. It's kind of, you know, a hash map is an associative array and we kind of state the obvious here, but sometimes it's okay to state the obvious. We also kind of never have this case so far, or never had this case so far. Very unfortunate. But anyway, the good thing is that I think we are now done. We're doing it all. Let's check for -r ... So there we go up, there we go up. And there we go down again. And then it's always relative invocations. Country restriction. We go down, then it's one more item, then we go up again. Oh, that's cool. Actually, I like this. It can't be more concise, basically. It's like directory traversal, right? cd ... The only difference is that dot, in my case, is the absolute value, or starts from the beginning. And that's kind of special. Usually would have a slash. But if the dot is a universal separator, you know, then you can't have that. On the other hand, you know, using dots to signal that it's the current directory is also kind of unnecessary, as it's, you know, would be happening anyway, with or without it. So in a way, having the double duty of the dot is actually a good thing because it's not the double duty anymore. It's kind of using the sign or the symbols that you have to the maximum extent. So in a way, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I like it. Cool. I think that's concluding this session because we now have relative values, but relative cursor positions, but also use absolute ones. So docs CLI absolute top level cursor and plus details. So just for show, use absolute cursors in the primary structure or in the top level structure, and also indicate something as an array. Indicate you are setting an array or a hash map in the details. Okay, and just for the fun of it, I'd still like to see if this is actually hit at any time. So it's scan all J8. I think it's not still. It is. It's cool. Where? Compute. I just want to see this once and then I'm done. Compute 1 CLI doc. Oh no, wait. It's not the one. It's that. Cloud monitoring. Hey. Oh, cool. There's even more. So we now found a bug. Okay, fine. So I will just do this real quick. Still have some time. That's in CLI 152. What about S? Like that. Building is nice and fast. I can only repeat myself there, but it's gorgeous. So I don't know where it actually is. Here it is not. Delete. Definitely not. So there's just one more list. Probably here you can specify that is odd. Huh. Where is this happening then? Huh. This is happening in description, the label's name, write time series request. The label's name. Oh, time series list. Not this one. Right. True. This one it is. Awesome. So here we have an association of a string to a string. So here we have labels, key equals string. Okay, cool. That's it. So that's a proof that this actually works. Awesome. I will just amend this one because nothing else really happened. Thank you. And now we're done. Thanks for watching and hope to see you around.